What's going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a good week. Getting close to Christmas now. It's getting pretty busy. Everything's getting pretty hectic, but today I'm back with some Silvia content. So I haven't really touched this thing for a while after we pretty much dropped the motor, and it's really the last thing I did. But anyway, today I'm going to be putting the new turbo setup on it. It used to have a top mount setup, but I took that off it because that was all set up for the s14, so the downpipe and shit just made it easier to get the s14 running to take it off the Silvia. But anyway, I'm going to be putting a new turbo setup on it today. And the turbo that I'm going to be putting on it is a Series 2 25 det turbo, which came off of the 25 that is now in my s14. So here's the turbo here, and I've got the side-by-side comparison to this one, which is a factory 20 det turbo. So this is like a cheap, easy upgrade for a 20 det over the 20 det turbo, because it's a complete bolt-in swap. So bolts right up to the manifold, or the oil lines, water lines, downpipe, everything. It all works, and it's not the easiest to tell on camera, but you can see that this front housing is just a little bit thicker than this one, and it's the same with the rear. The rear housings are just a little bit bigger. So it's not a massive upgrade over that turbo. It does flow a little bit better, and obviously because it's not so much bigger, you don't really sacrifice any response either. I ran a 20 det turbo on the 20 det in my s14 ages ago when I first built it, and then I upgraded to a 25 Neo turbo, and the change wasn't massive. You could feel it a little bit. So it's definitely a little bit of an upgrade. So keeping with the theme of budget friendly and simple, I'm going to be using the factory manifold. So this is what the factory manifold looks like. It's cast iron, it's heavy as fuck, and it flows like shit, but this is what we're going to be using for now. Haven't touched this since I pulled this whole setup off the 25, so I need to go through, clean all this up. It's still got gasket goo and crap all over it, so let's go through, clean that up. So I just took this orbital sander, put it on a low setting, went through, cleaned up all of these. They've come up real good, and did the turbo as well. So now I'm just going to grab a compressor, go through, blow all the crap out of the turbo and the manifold, and then yeah, we'll chuck it on. Sweet, so I'm just about to put the manifold on. I've got all my cap screws here, washers, got my gaskets and my gasket sealer. So these gaskets are a bit of a pain because they're all single instead of just one big one that's connected. So yeah, trying to put this on without these all falling off is going to be a bit of annoying, but hopefully that helps these to stick in place while I fit the manifold and put it on. Finally got the manifold on. Turns out that the cap screws that I had are a little bit too long, so it must have been slightly different from the ones that I got last time, because yeah, they would pretty much go against the manifold and then they sort of stop turning, like they're at the end of the thread, I guess. So I've just put an extra couple washers on all of them just to space it out. Anyway, here it is. It's all on. So now I'm just going to put the turbo on. that bolt, that one down there, and the top one done, and this one right here is a real pain in the ass because that is all I can do at a time. So it's a painstaking process, and unfortunately the bolt isn't, the nut isn't loose enough where I can just finger do it all the way up, finger tighten it. So reduced to doing this. Love working on RVs. Alright, manifold and turbos on. Finally got that bolt tightened up. One thing I didn't mention before was the oil drain here is easy to slip it on before you actually put the turbo onto the manifold, because it's a hard line to there, and then you've only got that real short bit that flexes. So yeah, it's just easy to chuck that on first, put it on, and then just put the turbo up. But last thing I've got to do for the turbo is this little bendy bit here. This is the oil feed, so that just goes into the side of the block. You can see the thing right there. So to do that, use this little bolt here, this little banjo bolt. So when you screw it into the motor, the oil goes through that that hole there, and then comes out the sides here, and then goes through that line, and then obviously into the top of the turbo there. So that's the turbo installed. So I've got the turbo on, manifold on, and the oil lines on. These turbos do have water lines, but I've never run them. There's I don't know, a bit of a debate, I guess, whether you do need to run them or not. Definitely can't hurt to run them, but yeah, whether it's worth pissing around, putting them on and taking them off, etc. It's debatable, especially with this power level. It's not making fuck all power. It's only going to be running like 10 pound of boost, so it's not going to be, I don't know, crazy amounts of heat through it. So, oh, but anyway, right. So that'll be it for this video. Cheers for watching, guys. Gonna try and start working on the Silvia a little bit more. Just doing little bits and pieces here and there. So obviously we're rounding out the year now. It's almost Christmas, and I would like to have this car ready by the end of February, because the end of February is round 4 of Drift South. So I'd like to get the car ready for that. I was planning to do most of the season this season, just doing development, and I knew I was going to miss the first couple rounds, but today is actually the 3rd round. I was hoping to make that, but knew ages ago that I was never going to be able to get the car done in time. But like I said, round 4 is, I think, the 22nd of February, so which is 2 months away. So I've got 2 months to get this thing to a state where I can drive it. Because I'm doing development, it's not battles. I don't need a roll cage, so I could do it in the Safiro, but I know that the Safiro wouldn't be competitive at all. It's a big whale of a thing. But I'm definitely going to be taking the Safiro to track days and stuff that are coming up, just so I can get seat time. But yeah, definitely I'm going to try and get the Silvia done soon so I can start driving it. But yeah, anyway, cheers guys, and catch you next time.